So this is how looks unlock networking and social circles. Now, I've been on both sides of the spectrum, all right? Like this was me. This was me in around 2023, I think. And this is me now. It's a picture I took recently. And during that time span, I lost around 20 kilos, around 45 pounds. Now, this means I can tell you from both perspectives if looks actually matter if you want to unlock new social circles and improve your networking, right? So this is basically what the red pill is, right? You've heard of these terms, I'm sure, is the red pill and the black pill. Black pill is basically where you get that looks maxing from. And so there's a hierarchy which differentiates these both, right? So the red pill is all about money first, status second, and looks third. Meaning that you don't need to look good as long as you have money and you have status. Now the black pill is the exact opposite. The black pill tells you that looks is the most important thing, status comes second, and money comes third. Now these are two ideologies, right? But I'm telling you the truth is somewhere in the middle. And I can tell you this because this is from my own experience. In 2021, I moved to Paris and I still looked a little bit like this, right? This was in 2023, this picture, but still. And at that point, when I moved to Paris, I thought that I want to start networking. I want to actually, meet new people because at the time when I moved to Paris, I didn't know anyone. So at that time, the black pill wasn't really that big, right? So instead of focusing on looks, I mostly focused on money and status. And especially in my case, I was focusing on networking skills, right? So I went out and I tried to meet as many people as possible. Now, very important to say, this guy still had a lot of success, right? Through social skills and all of that. But when I became this guy, things changed and it made me realize a couple of things. So, does being attractive actually help then? Does it give you more connections, right? Does it give you better friendships or even relationships? Does it give you more business opportunities, which is an interesting one? Now, I've experienced in all three of those, right? This is me being silly with some friends. So, what are we going to go through? First of all, status. Now, I need to tell you what status is really about, and I will give you an example, especially in social settings, right? Then we're going to look at a couple of different relationship types, right? And this is coming from a man, right? So if you're a man, guy friends, how will looks affect your relationships here? Then women friends, platonic, meaning non-romantic, women romantic, business connections. Now, there's a couple of things that are different in business connections. And then the big picture, the conclusion, like what can you take away from my experience? And just so you know, my experience, I did some research and basically the data, they all agree with me, right? So this is good to know, meaning that for most of you, this will be applicable. So first, status, right? Now, I want to stress test the argument of status. And I want you to get it, especially in social situations. Now, you have a guy here, pretty handsome looking guy in my opinion. Now he's alone at a bar, like nobody's with him. He's depressed and all the bad stuff that you can have, right? Generally speaking, this guy has no status. Like he has no friends around him, no success, he has a bad vibe and all of that. Now, let's look at the same guy here. He has all these people around him laughing, and this makes you want to meet that guy. Whereas here, you probably have no interest in meeting the guy, right? Although here, he has a lot of friends, right? People want to talk to him. Maybe he has something important to say. He seems like the center of attention. Now, if you had to choose between those two, who would you want to be friends with? And obviously, 99.99% of you guys would rather be friends with this guy, right? Because if you join this guy, then you know you will meet other people as well. He has a good vibe. He must be well connected, so there must be something about him. So you have these both comparisons. Obviously, you would choose this guy. Now let's take it further. What about these two, right? So there's an average looking guy and there is a handsome guy, I'd say. Now this guy, even though he's average looking, he still has all the attention from all these people, right? Women, guys, So it's the same thing as this guy, just he looks a bit different, yet still you would rather chill with this guy. Up until now, it may seem obvious to you, right? Now, where do looks come into play? It's in this situation, right? Now, they are in the same situation basically, although this guy is better looking. Now, if you had to choose between the two of those, now, most of you will choose this guy. You may not know why. You may not think that, well, because he's better looking, but just because you think, well, he seems more charming, maybe, you know. Now, some people may think, yeah, well, he seems nicer, more harmless, whatever it is. But most people, and this is backed up by data, would still choose this guy. Guy friends. Now, this is my experience as well. The primary indicator of how well a relationship will go, how long it will last with guy friends, you know, you as a guy with another guy, is mutual interest, right? If you're into martial arts, you will probably be friends with someone who is also into martial arts or that shares another interest just as you do. That may be socializing as well, you know, being on a mission to socialize, being on a mission to make money or whatever it is. This is the primary indicator. Now, the secondary indicator, which is also very strong, is the status. It's the same thing that we looked at before. Now, in this sense, in social settings, it's mostly how many people you have around you. Now, even though mutual interests play a role, most of the times when you meet somebody, subconsciously or consciously, you will think about how this relationship can benefit you. Now, if you see a guy with a lot of friends, right, with a lot of women around him, with a lot of guy friends around him, then you will think that this person, first of all, has some kind of value to provide, right? It's pre-selection. But also, if you meet this person, if you're friends with that person, then you will most likely meet other people too, if you get what I'm saying. So the advantage that you would have in this relationship is that you will be able to expand your network through this specific individual who has status, right? And this is why I always say, like, if you go out, even if you're alone, and you create contacts and you invite them out with you, then it'll be even easier to make new friends. So what role do looks play, right? It is minimal when it comes to determining how long a relationship with another guy would last. Although you could also say that having better looks will go to better status. So if you have better looks and you go up to women and all of that, then women most likely will give you much more of a chance to talk to you, you know, and you can invite other people into the conversation. So as I said, it's a snowball effect, and looks can help you achieve that status, which in turn will make it easier to, you know, talk to more people, and then it will be easier to find people with the mutual interests. So what about women friends? Platonically, right? It's the same thing. Shared interest is the primary indicator, right? Now, it changes a little bit. The secondary thing is, and women are a lot like that in my experience, but also backed on data, is that they are more influenced by the halo effect. Now, if you don't know what the halo effect is, it's basically that people think that you must be charming, that you must be this and that because you're good looking. Their subconscious tells you that, right? So if you make a dumb joke, then if you're good looking, then maybe people will think that you're just silly. Whereas if you're not attractive, then people will think that you're a loser. I mean, that's very surface level, but the subconscious, especially in women, it acts like that, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just how things are. Looks, they are still important. You see, I still put it at moderate, but it's still more than platonic male-to-male friendships. So it's the same thing, the snowball effect, right? The better looking you are, the more of a halo effect you will have. And in that sense, more status you will have and that kind of stuff. And the more people you will able to meet, also women, in the context of a platonic relationship. And then you will find more people that you will have shared interests with, right? Now, due to the halo effect, or due to the fact that women are more perceptive to the halo effect, you as an attractive guy, you will get much longer interactions, right? Women just want to talk to you more if you're good looking. That's just because, you know, it's just biology, right? It's like they see you as a potential partner, And then if you're attractive, then they will enjoy that attention. It's the same thing with men talking to attractive women, even if you don't want to be in a relationship with them or in a romantic endeavor, whatever. Subconsciously, you will still invest a little bit more time into women that are attractive, right? And women are the same way. Now, if you're into all of this and you want to improve your social life, then you can join my free community. The link is in the description. There you will meet other people who are on the same trajectory or on the same mission. Now, if you want my one-on-one help, somebody who holds you accountable and gives you a specific plan for your specific situation, I also offer one-on-one coaching. So let's continue with the video. Now, what about romantic, right? This is where the black pill obviously is, right? Now, I was still successful like with dating when I was in Paris and when I was still overweight and, didn't take care of my skin and all of that. Now, in my case, I just lost a lot of weight, although that made a big difference. I mean, 20 kgs is a lot of fat, right? And so even though I had success, everything was just so much easier. Everything was just so much easier. I had women coming up to me like a lot more than they used to when I was looking fatter and more unattractive. So this is the primary indicator because you're already good looking, right? Now, the second thing is, which is also very big, is the pre-selection, meaning if you have other women around you, then they will trust you even more. That is because they think you are safe, right? You're a safe option because other women are already around you. So there must be something to you. You must be safe because otherwise these other women wouldn't risk being with you. Makes sense, right? And so this is also very big. So that means the looks role is very high. And it is even the most important thing when it comes to social interactions at a bar and whatever. Now, if you are friends with a woman for a long time or you're in the same friend circle, then over time, this may not apply to this extent if they get to know you and, they trust you, all of that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about social interactions, right? This is what this channel is about. So even if you look at the data, they have a lot of data on this. The strongest predictor in bar and speed dating especially were always looks. So they asked women what the most important thing is that they look for in a man. Most women said personality and then, career. And then I don't remember what the second one was. But looks wasn't even second. I think it was third or whatever. But when it came to choosing the partner that they chose they would go on another date with, the most of them said that it was based on looks. So what about business connections? Now, the primary thing, the most important thing when you want to do business is obviously competence. That is self-explanatory, right? Like if you want to create a business relationship, then obviously you're trying to get something out of the relationship. And so competence is the most important thing. Now, how important are looks? There is the halo effect, right? So in the terms of business, if you meet somebody, then the halo effect still applies, but in a different manner, right? If you meet somebody, if you're better looking, then they will assume that you're competent about something that you talk about, right? If you talk about your skill, they will assume competence. But this is only in the initial phases, right? So in the business scenario, you will have a lot of advantages by looking good, but only initially. Because at the end of the day, skills matter the most. So in business, skills matter the most, but you will get many more chances, right? People listening to you due to the halo effect. So then what should you do, right? So the most important thing is to take action now. Now, if you are not good looking right now, right? If you are still overweight and all of that, still, you should already go out. You should already build those social skills, right? And then simultaneously, you should improve your looks. Because if you learn to socialize now, you will already have a lot of success, right? And then simultaneously, you will improve your looks. And then once you're at a spot where you think, oh, well, I'm good looking, I lost a lot of weight, I built some muscle, right? Then you already have the skills where you know how to socialize. And so everything will go exponentially well. And that's why I'm glad that at the time, when I was 21 in Paris, I didn't know about this whole black pill thing, this looks max thing. I was just under the impression that looks do not matter that much. So just, go out, socialize. Social skills are the most important thing. And I already had a lot of success. So you will have success if you just take action, right? You will have a lot of success, and then you learn how to socialize, but also you're improving your looks, and then you will have both sides of the coin. So you will be a complete package. Now, you should also work on your career. Now, I do not think that money matters so much when it comes to socializing. I really do not. Just for yourself, just for your quality of life, you should have all of these in check. You should work on your career, like invest a lot of time in your career, improve your looks, and learn how to socialize, and you will be the complete package. And so this is basically it. Always remember, blend in, stand out, and belong anywhere. Take care.